Gout does not begin with pain, not with a sudden attack, not with a single inflamed joint. It begins when the body fails to eliminate what it can no longer tolerate. Uric acid is not the enemy. It is a natural byproduct, an elimination signal. But when the internal environment shifts, the signal becomes a burden, and the burden becomes a crystal. At first, levels rise silently. Then accumulation begins. Then solubility is lost. Then deposition occurs. Then it waits. And the attack, it is not the beginning. It is the final explosion. When obesity accumulates, weight is not the only thing affected. Insulin resistance increases. Renal excretion efficiency declines. Low-grade inflammation rises. Internal acidity increases. And uric acid clearance slows. The blood becomes loaded with what should have been eliminated. Gout is not an angry joint. It is a saturated environment that lost its ability to drain. Visceral fat plays a silent role. It raises insulin, impairs renal excretion, increases uric acid production, and keeps inflammation ready to ignite. Crystals form, not only because levels are high, but because exit has become difficult. Gout is not an angry joint. It is a saturated environment that lost its ability to drain. Visceral fat plays a silent role. It raises insulin, impairs renal excretion, increases uric acid production, and keeps inflammation ready to ignite. Crystals form, not only because levels are high, but because exit has become difficult. Some bodies reach this retention earlier, not because of diet alone, but because excretory capacity is genetically lower. SLC2A9, ABCG2, URAT1, SLC22A12, IL6, TNF-alpha, PARG. They do not cause gout alone, but they make metabolic load far more likely to precipitate. This is where conventional thinking fails. The focus stays on what you ate, what you drank, what to avoid, but the pathway is deeper. The problem is not only what enters, but what cannot exit. This is not a joint disease. It is silent metabolic drainage failure. This is where Roots AI becomes essential. Not to ask, how high is the number? But to read, when did retention begin? How did it align with weight, insulin, and inflammation? Is excretion progressively failing? When did silent load turn into painful crystallization? Roots AI detects deposition before the attack, not diagnosis, but early unloading of the pathway. Because gout does not begin with pain. It begins when the body is forced to store what it was never designed to keep.
Gout does not ignite because uric acid rises, but because the body stops eliminating what exceeds its capacity. Sudden pain, a burning joint, an attack without warning. Not coincidence, not just a heavy meal. Dr. Holly, they are messages from your body. Will you reduce the load and restore drainage now? Or wait until pain speaks on behalf of everything you ignored in silence?